Hey, Bizarre Buffet listeners.
Hey, everyone.
Can I get a Hoya?
Hoya! Jen just introduced us to this new craze that all the kids are doing on
TikTok.
The
Yeah,
TikTok.
on
Where
the
people will be like,
TikToky.
can I get a Hoya? And then they're like, Hoya! And I'm like, oh my God. That is
so porno.
So gross.
And they're doing
And
it
like,
in,
just imagine having like knowing little children that do it.
Yeah, it's so weird.
It's so weird. And I'm like, do you realize you sound like a porn star? Like, do you?
Yeah, I know. Like, listen,
they're
you're gonna
doing
get.
it in like Targets and
Yeah,
But I mean,
libraries.
like, we also should give a Hoya because this is episode 50 of Bizarre
Oh,
Buffet. Hoya. We've come a long way.
Wait, is this going to be 50?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow, we're over the hill.
I know. We really have come a long way, though,
We have.
from being on our
absolutely
phones.
have.
But for all of you who've been with us since episode 1, thank you.
Thank you. Cheers.
Really.
Cheers.
This is to us
This is to us.
So to us.
and to you.
And to you.
Come sit on my lap. We're gonna talk.
Yeah. Yeah. So we're coming to sit on Mark Toriel's lap tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna do some horny ASMR too.
Well, speaking of laps, it makes me think of like Santa Claus when you sit on his lap at the mall.
Oh my God, Mark Bluestein and I are
my
great
God.
mall companions.
We are. We love going to the mall together.
Oh, we do. We get in a lot of trouble.
It's a New Jersey
We
thing.
do. I know.
While we're talking about malls, I would like to know what everyone's favorite mall store is or was.
I was always a big fan. Fucking Sam Horny Goody.
I love Sam Goody.
Sam Goody. I used to always get CDs from Sam Goody.
What CD did you get at Sam Goody? Can you think of one?
I remember like buying O-Town.
Oh, that makes
Oh.
total sense. Yeah,
Right?
that's absolutely accurate. They probably had like a display for it too.
I used to love, I mean, not anymore, but like I was a huge fan of Claire's. Like when they
Yeah.
used to have like the Spice Girls and NSYNC and like Backstreet Boy memorabilia.
Yeah.
I had a Lance Bass necklace because he was my favorite from NSYNC, and then he wound up being gay.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's on our side. of
He's
the
on
shirt.
our
He's on
side.
your side.
But we don't even want
I
him.
had
so.
like a Lance Bass pillowcase. Like I was obsessed with Lance Bass.
So horny for Lance.
Well, I
I
feel
love
like
it.
most of the girls were not into him.
No,
he didn't get a
but
lot
then-
of airtime.
But
No?
then once I found out, you know, the team that he pitched for, I was
Yeah.
like JT all the way.
JT, you were like, I've moved on.
I moved on to Justin Timberlake.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much.
Listen, if Britney Spears could get it, you're definitely fine.
But it's like I miss Claire's from the 90s. I
Yeah.
miss that type of
It's a
like
nostalgia thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
Now you go in and it's just blah costume jewelry.
Yeah,
Like
for
it used
boring
to be
tweens.
It was like, I remember it being very like hot pink.
lots of hot pink, lots of flowers.
Lots of
was.
Lance.
Like lots of Lance, lots of whatever the Olsen twins were wearing back then with like the bucket hats and like the sunglasses with the little
fucking
like
love a bucket hat.
the bucket hats with like the sunglasses that were heart shaped and then had like a little heart and rhinestone.
Oh, yeah, the
Oh
little
my
rhinestone
god.
things.
Babysitters clubbed me
terrible.
to death.
Yes. Oh my God. Like
so
I was
clever.
a straight up Claire's kid. Actually, my cartilage that I have pierced
From Claire's?
from Claire's back in the day.
I had my ear pierced at Claire's
And,
once.
I think I did too.
it never was infected.
Yeah.
Well, that you know what? Considering that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Shocking.
And she bitch fucking did it with a gun, not even a
I
needle.
know.
Yeah, one of the piercing
Oh my
guns.
god, which is like a real piercer's like,
No.
like
Oh,
yeah.
really?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
feel like it makes it easier.
It probably,
Well,
yeah.
it's like mass consumption piercing. It's like, here, you want a fucking stud in your ear?
Oh, it's an ear. Everyone needs to chill.
I know. Well, everybody's a fucking elitist snob these days.
But what about you, Mark?
Well, I really loved Sam Goody because they had the VHS tapes
Oh, yeah.
and
And
they had the
Suncoast
neon
video.
lights.
Suncoast Video. That's
Suncoast.
Cousin Doug. That was his first job.
Oh.
Oh my god, call Cousin Doug.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding.
We love a good Suncoast. Well, Suncoast
We
was
might
my
call you
favorite
Cousin
because they
Doug.
had such a plethora of horror movies. And it was always like the obscure shit. So not only would they have like the popular franchises, but they would have Faces of Death or like House Part 2 or
Yeah.
Ghoulies 4.
Ghoulies go to college.
Ghoulies go to college, Ghoulies go to space. So I always appreciated Suncoast because they had, really cool horror stuff.
Yeah.
Ghoulies doing porn. Oh yeah.
All the Ghoulies. Oh yeah.
So Mark, where are we going tonight?
We're going to the mall. And, we're also going a little bit back in time, starting to 1999.
Oh yes,
And-
that's like the Suncoast video.
Yeah,
Sam Goody,
fucking
Claire.
all
It's like
of it.
We were on the pulse of DVD.
oh my god, we were.
New
Love a
millennium.
DVD.
So let's go to,
horny.
not only are we going into 1999, but we're going to Rhode Island.
What are we doing in Rhode Island?
Yeah, what are we doing in Rhode Island?
Why are we here?
All
in
right.
1999?
Yeah. We're in Rhode Island.
We're in Rhode Island. All right, so
Rhode Island.
Playing some Alanis Morissette in our car on the way there.
when I think of 99, I think of like bad new millennium.
Yeah.
Like some Britney Spears shit.
Yeah, like a metallic bodycon crop top.
Hot.
That's what I
Ah,
think. Hot.
a bucket hat too. I'd be wearing
Yeah.
a bucket hat
I love that.
with my like little heart-shaped sunglasses with the rhinestone hearts. What would you be wearing?
I would be wearing something really slutty for me. I'm slut positive. I am a sex positive person. I would be wearing something very post-punk-y,
And what would you be wearing, Mark?
revamped for
I
the 90s.
hated the 90s, so I don't think I'd be wearing anything.
He'd be a nudist.
You'd be a
Yeah,
nudist,
I'd be a naked
and we would
person.
be driving in like a Volvo,
Oh my god, fucking
blasting
Swedish
some
Volvo.
like the thong song because
Oh my-
that was like
Cisco.
Cisco,
don't even-
TLC, No Scrubs,
Yeah.
R. Kelly.
Arc
A plethora of bad music.
Crickets.
Fucking R. Hashtag controversial Kelly.
R. Kelly has nothing to do with this mall. So let's talk about what's going on in the world at this time.
Okay.
Okay.
So it's the late 90s, and it was a popular time.
There was blowjobs in the White House.
There was blowjobs in the White House. There was
Hot.
pee-pee on R. Kelly.
Oh my god.
There was
Hot.
busted knees from figure skaters.
Oh, that's right.
There
Tanya.
was a lot of bucket hats and
Jen wants her bucket hats.
I want a bucket hat.
Someone send Jen a bucket hat now.
My birthday is coming up in a couple weeks.
That's right.
November 8th.
Remember, P.O. Box Jen Wilson bucket hat.
bucket hat palooza.
And
Yeah.
you can throw in a heart-shaped sunglasses with the rhinestones.
If you can find it.
If you can find them.
A bucket hat might be easier. I don't know.
And during this time, we were also on the cusp of the new millennium.
Y2K.
Y2K.
Yeah.
Where everyone thought the world was going to end.
Yeah.
Didn't Backstreet Boys have an album called The Millennium?
They did.
Or
That had,
Melon?
I want it that way. Tell me why ain't nothing but a heartache. Tell me why.
I'm sorry. I'm just the harmonizer here. I'm not the lyricist.
So yeah, we were like on the cusp of this whole new millennium
Yeah, the
jazz.
Backstreet. That was a really good album, though. That was probably one of their best albums.
No strings attached.
That's NSYNC.
That was the other one.
With the marionettes.
Yes, yeah. Never.
Bye, bye, bye.
Yeah, that's right. Never mind. Sorry.
So,
Never mind. A 90s
So-
album.
So we were like in the cusp of the new millennium and a plethora of horrendous music and,
Yeah, and
bucket
looks
hats.
and
And let's face it, at this time, a lot of malls started to look dated because malls had this huge resurgence in the United States, kind of in like the 1970s, 1980s.
Right.
So a lot of these malls had these really cool aesthetics that were kind of no longer being appreciated and looked at as dated. Especially now we're going into Y2K, a more digital, future forward aesthetic. So a lot of
Fuck
malls,
that.
yeah,
fuck that shit.
And now a lot of malls were like, okay, like we have to modernize our malls. So they started to expand them. They put glass facades on them, making it look a little bit cleaner. And it's funny now because a lot of these malls that were renovated in this time, we're looking at it and we're like, wow, that shit looks dated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And overall, like the whole mall culture at this time was really forced to have to keep up so it wouldn't become a dead mall. This started to happen, and in Providence, Rhode Island, the Providence Place Mall was just being built.
And Jen Wilson was showing up in her bucket hat.
She was like, I'm here for the unveiling.
She was there for Claire's.
For Claire's. Oh, icing. Was that the other one?
Icing, that
Icing
was the other
one.
Claire's, yeah.
Wow.
So this mall was brand new. It had 1.4 million square feet with 160 stores.
Wait, how many square feet?
1.4 million square feet.
Oh, fuck.
It's pretty big.
It's a huge ass mall.
Yeah.
It's a
That's,
mega
yeah,
mall.
I'm sorry, the number was just,
More like, excuse me?
Yeah,
that's,
it's multiple floors, wings.
wow.
I mean,
Okay, continue, sorry.
yeah, they even had like a movie theater too, and those are pretty big.
That's that's a thing now in the malls, a movie theater. You have to have a movie theater at
Yeah.
the mall.
Yeah, for delinquents.
Yeah, for delinquents to hang out in front of for
Yeah.
their parents to pick them up.
And to make out with their 13-year-old
Yeah.
counterpart.
Yes.
So, I mean, this mall was also so big that there was like an Amtrak train line that kind of ran under it.
Oh, wow.
So it was kind of like an underground type of train?
No, it was,
Or was like an actual Amtrak that went underneath?
like an actual Amtrak.
Like the
that
tunnel went
underneath.
under the mall.
I
Oh,
think
shit,
so. Yeah,
okay.
like the train went under the
Was
mall.
there a stop at the mall?
That would be cool.
Oh, I don't know.
In
That's a good
Philly,
question.
the mall in Philly called the Gallery,
Mm-hmm.
there was a train stop there that let you
Okay.
off in the mall.
Well, I know even at Jersey City, there was like a PATH train stop at Newport, and I think there's the Newport Mall.
Oh.
Okay.
So it could be a thing. There was a river too. It's called like the Woonis Nantuckit River.
Woonis Nantucket.
I hope I didn't slaughter the name, but it goes under the mall too. Apparently, it cost $500 million to make this mall.
Okay.
It was basically designed as a mega shopping destination to help stimulate the city's economy.
Okay.
So it's not like a terrible thing. It's just
No.
very
No.
large.
Yeah.
This is where things get a little bit more interesting. So
I wonder if Titanic was playing at the movies there.
Oh, well,
Oh
it
my
was
God.
1999. Oh, but it was
shit.
being built in 99.
Oh,
yeah.
damn it.
So Titanic was out, just not
Maybe
at
it
that
was
mall.
like one of the $2 Tuesday mall things that they
Maybe,
used
but-
to do.
Too
So-
bad Jen Wilson couldn't go in her bucket hat to go see it.
I know, the premiere with Billy Zane.
With Billy Zane.
They should make a Titanic bucket hat for Jen.
I bet they exist.
It
I'm
has
sure.
to have Leo's face on it.
Yeah.
During the time of the construction, there was a local artist and city resident, and his name was Michael Townsend.
Why does that name ring a bell?
I don't know. Like, it's funny because when I was doing the research and I saw the name, it
Well, there's
seems
Pete
like a-
Townsend from The Who.
No, but I feel like I've heard the name Michael Townsend
It
before.
sounds like a very like common
or
combination.
Townsend is a
Yeah.
common last name.
Yeah.
I've heard it many a time.
Mr. Michael Townsend.
Hey, Mike.
He
Hey,
used-
Mike, if you're still alive.
Michael, I actually emailed him.
Oh, did he respond?
He did. I asked him to be on the show.
Was he like, absolutely not?
Well, no, he seemed very polite about it. He declined. We can talk about why he probably declined after.
Why would someone want to decline from
know.
such a classy?
We are a very fine
Show.
We're a
establishment.
very beautiful group of people.
We are.
During the time of the construction, this guy, Michael Townsend, he used to go out jogging and, for exercise, and he would jog past the construction site of the mall.
Okay.
So on his runs, he would notice something a little bit unusual about the construction of this building every time he would pass by, to the point where it kind of stood out to him. Right by the river where the mall was, there was like these two large walls that kind of looked awkward and they did not touch.
Okay.
So it kind of created this gap. I guess he would pass by it and be like, oh, well, that looks like weird
Yeah.
anomaly or just like a fuck up.
Yeah, like what's going on over here?
He thought to himself, he's like, well, what the hell could possibly go in there? Because it's too narrow to be a parking garage. The spacing doesn't make sense for it to be a store, like
Right.
whatever. So he chalked it up to probably just bad construction.
Yeah.
Or some sort of design accident. Now, it was something that he did notice, but it didn't really come into play until 4 years later.
Okay.
So now we're in 2003.
All did not end.
The world did not end. Y2K was over.
Still shitty music.
Yeah,
Still awful
definitely.
music.
Some really shitty fashion trends.
They just got worse.
Like
They
the
got worse.
fucking like Ugg boots with fucking
Boots with the fur, apple
Yeah.
bottom
Yeah.
jeans.
And then
That's it.
like people wearing like I think the girls did this thing where they would wear like 5 tank tops at the same
Yeah.
time.
Ugh, for what?
I hated that. It like made my armpits sweat just thinking about all those layers. After like the success of the mall, developers wanted to really continue to build up the city. They were like, holy shit, we made this big mall. It's stimulating the economy. Let's push it further. So push it.
Real good.
So
That's back to the 90s.
They did push it real good. The developers, they wanted to build more retail spaces. So after touring the city,
there better be a Claire's there.
Better be.
there might be at that mall. After they toured the city, they saw this area and it was called the Historical Mill District. And it was kind of like an industrial area. And they were like, okay, like this can be rebuilt, this could be rejuvenated. Like, what can we do with this? Unfortunately, that meant that a lot of artists that were living in those spaces were kind of forced out. And that included Michael Townsend himself.
Aww.
Now, at the time, he was.
Michael.
I know. It's unfortunate. They want to gentrify places and then have local artists go there, but now they're pushing out local artists, so it's
Yeah.
like
Right.
this double, cacophony. So yeah, unfortunately, a lot of the artists were kicked out. He was part of this like artist community called Fort Thunder, and they lived and resided in the Mill
Okay.
district. So for 2 years, the residents fought back. They were like, no, you're not taking away our community. And
Yeah.
they put up a good fight for 2 years. Unfortunately, they lost. The city developers tore down the entire place for the sake of commercial space. What ended up happening is that they were forced to leave their homes in the Mill District. Fort Thunder was replaced by a parking lot.
Oh.
Pay paradise to put up a parking lot.
Another song that was recovered in the 90s.
Yeah. Oof.
I know.
I love it.
So, during this time, Michael had been a drawing instructor at the Rhode Island School of Design.
She.
Yeah, he is very shishi. And he was the founder of an art movement called tape art. Which
What does that mean?
They basically made art out of tape all over the city.
Oh, that's really cool.
That is.
So that is really cool. So now, okay, they have been forced out of their artist community. There's all of these like big buildings being built. So like what's going on? How is all of this connecting in the
Yeah.
bizarre buffet world, right?
Yeah.
During this time, he came up with this concept called Trummerkind, which translates to Children of the Ruins.
Oh, yes, like I.
Yeah.
Like me too.
All of us. Me three.
In my bucket
Mark
hat.
4. In your bucket hats of the ruin.
So Trummerkin is this art concept project that he put together. So after being displaced, Michael partnered up with 7 other artists to create this specific art movement.
Okay.
Okay.
The idea of the art movement was to highlight the amount of livable space that was being sacrificed by these retail developers. So, to bring this concept to life, the 7 originally planned on living in the Providence Place Mall for just a week.
Okay.
To do this, they needed to find a space inside of the mall that would not be detected by mall security, which in my profession or world, in my experience, mall security is the most useless.
Yeah.
They can't do shit. They can't arrest you. They can't.
Yeah, they're like a
They're-
fucking rent-a-cop.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
exactly.
just like
Paul
tattletales.
Blart.
Paul Blart, calling Paul Blart.
Yeah, Leah Remini.
They're just tattletales, and then they tell you to call the police.
Yeah.
That being said, they couldn't live inside of a store. They couldn't live inside a mall bathroom, and they couldn't pitch a tent in the parking garage.
Yeah.
So they really needed to be more creative about how they could accomplish this. After a lot of brainstorming, Michael remembered, oh my God, that weird spot
Yeah.
that I used to pass
The
when
little
I would
zigzag.
go. Yeah, the little construction zigzag situation. So Michael remembered that weird spot where he used to jog. He was like, you know what? I'm going to check that spot out to see if it's still there and what the hell is going on. So the developers never sealed up that spot. So it was still in fact there after all of these years. To Michael's discovery, he went deeper into the space and noticed that there was years worth of garbage and debris that the construction company had left behind.
Okay.
So it was just like, so there was a lot of like broken wood, bags with zip ties. It was just, I think it's weird. Why would you have zip ties?
Tying people up, hog tying.
And the like space itself was just awkwardly narrow. However, it was pretty big. The measurements was actually 750 square feet, which is about like the average size of a 1-bedroom apartment.
I was going to say our last place, I think.
I miss that place.
Our old 1-bedroom. It was cute.
I drive by it all the time when I go down. Well, I don't drive past the actual apartment.
Oh, I was going to say, you weird pervert.
No.
You driving by, you stalking people.
No, like I go past the exit and I'm like, oh, Mark's old place.
Mark does that too, and I'm just kind of like,
So Michael realized that, okay, there's like 750 square feet of prime real estate not being used by the mall, so this could potentially be free.
Yeah, true.
What did he do with it?
He realized like the potential gold mine that they discovered. They really were like, shit, let's take our art concept of Tremorkind and really push the envelope. They wanted to look at that space in the same eyes as a developer would. They were like, fuck, how can we turn this space into a livable condo? Living there indefinitely.
Wow.
Oh my God.
And still not be detected. They decided to convert this space into an apartment.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Me and my bucket hat self would have been so happy there.
Like, I'm going to put up my poster.
With my sunglasses that are in the shape of hearts.
With the rhinestones.
The rhinestones.
How did they do this, right?
Yeah, how did they do it?
Believe it or not, they kind of did this in broad daylight in everyone's faces.
Could people like actually see them doing this?
Yeah, but they just didn't think
They
it was
probably
anything.
thought they worked there or something.
Okay.
First, they had to like haul out all the debris that was inside.
Right.
So they did that. They would basically be taking like all the shit and putting it in their backpacks and like getting all the crap out. Once they emptied out the space, they got power cords, gallons of water, lights, silverware. They just kept bringing shit in there until there was enough stuff for them to live off of.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And this is where it gets really good. To hide the space that they built, they made a fake wall out of like cinder blocks.
Cool.
Awesome.
And then they had acquired this industrial looking door and installed that to be the front door.
That's fucking cool.
It blended in with the rest of the mall architecture. Really, it went unnoticed. Just looked like, oh, a service closet for the mall.
Who would think about it?
Yeah. The 7 artists also used wires to hook up into the mall powering system. So they kind of like hacked into their electricity.
Oh, wow.
Cool.
Now they got to use their lamps. They put in a television set for entertainment. There was even a PlayStation.
Oh, PS2?
I think so.
It would have been a PS2.
The gray one.
And they played.
No, that's PS1. PS2 was
PS2
black.
was black.
Oh,
I had a
sorry.
PS2.
And they played a lot of Grand Theft Auto.
Oh, and I loved the Tony Hawk
did.
skateboard
They did?
games.
They did.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
So the biggest challenge that they ran into with the conceptualization of the secret mall condo was the problem of running water.
Okay.
To basically get access to water, they would go to the movie theater's bathroom, like during late night movies, which is kind of gross.
It's a little gnarly, but you know what? Whatever you got to do, right?
You got to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They even decorated the place. They hauled a china cabinet, a couch, and other various small items. But bringing the furniture pieces was no joke, because to access this space, you needed to descend a ladder that was 15 feet tall.
What?
Yeah.
So to get in and out?
You would open the door to like the secret hallway, and you would go down this long narrow hallway, and then you would go down 15
Oh,
feet.
shit.
And that the 15 feet down, I believe, is where the apartment was.
Okay.
So how'd they get the furniture?
They used a ladder, and they kind of just had it descend down the ladder.
Oh.
Yeah. But again, when they were doing all this shit, no one noticed. They were just like, oh, they're mall employees, or oh, they're servicemen, or whatever they're doing. When the space was finally completed, the artists, they had to make like a blood oath to never tell anyone about this space. So, like, kind of Fight Club, right? Like,
Right,
rules,
don't talk about Fight Club.
don't talk about Fight Club. Don't talk about secret mall condo.
Absolutely.
So
That's always rule number one.
So now the 8 of them were not really like living in it together. What they would do is that they would rotate designated times for each person to live in it to kind of keep the momentum going. It was so well concealed that they could live there for like months at a time.
Okay.
You guys might want to know, how long did they get to live in this
Well, that was
Yeah.
going to be my
condo?
question. How long did they get away with living
Like,
here?
how long could that possibly last?
Yeah.
Well, for them, 4 years.
Wow.
4 years.
4 years. 4 years, the secret mall condo was undetected.
How did it become detected?
All right, let me tell you that. As the space continued to gain its momentum with the artists, the one day they walked into their living space and they found that the utility door was kicked down and certain things were stolen, like the PlayStation and some of their art pieces. The artists were kind of baffled because it didn't seem like an ordinary type of break-in.
Was it an inside
Like
artist
an
job?
inside
Yeah,
job.
it seemed like kind of weird. They were like, well, fuck, we can't call the police because we're living here illegally.
And plus, the mall cops would do nothing.
Yes. The mall cops would be like, call Paul Blart.
So they were like, okay, well, like, we don't want to give this up. So what they did is that they had to kind of reconfigure and say, you cannot tell anyone about this condo or this secret mall apartment. So they had to really like reiterate that. But it was clear that someone else knew
There was a snitch.
about the space.
Goddamn snitch.
After this robbery happened, another one of the rules was that you can only go in and out of the secret mall condo at nighttime. So they were like, fuck,
That makes sense.
we don't want people seeing us in the daylight. So they got a little bit more strict. On the very last day that the secret mall condo existed, Michael was hosting a visiting artist from Hong Kong who went by the name of Jaffa. He wanted to show her this 4-year-long art project because her being an artist, she was probably getting a kick out of it.
Yeah.
That was amazing. Exactly.
Yeah.
So in the middle of the day, he's giving her the tour. Right before they exit the secret mall condo, they were met with a banging on the door, and it was mall security.
Paul
And
Blart.
Paul
Yeah.
fucking Blarty.
You fucking
So-
kidding me?
Motherfuck.
Mall security comes in, they detain him on the spot. What basically had happened is...
The only time they ever did anything.
Yeah,
Exactly.
So what ended up happening was
Besides eating donuts.
eating donuts and tattling. So what ended up happening was that at the time, the mall hired 2 new mall security guards. They were the ones that saw the artists go in and out of the space. So the break-in was really more or less mall security going in and investigating. And they wanted to figure out like who's living here and get their like personal information to conduct an investigation.
Oh, God.
Fucking Paul
It's like,
Blart.
get a goddamn life.
Get a life.
But also, like, shame on them. They were undetected for 4 years.
I know.
And who gives a flying
Yeah.
fuck? It's a space that nobody cared about. They
Yeah.
used it as a garbage
It
dump.
was a garbage dump.
Oh,
And,
God. Fucking,
You know,
this is the problem with
Well-
rich white America.
well, America doesn't like you
Minus
if
the 3
you're
of us.
homeless
Yes.
or poor, you know?
No,
Yeah.
they don't.
So Michael gets arrested. He's sent to criminal court over this.
Criminal court
Yeah.
over that?
For this.
He should have had
And-
squatters' rights at that point.
Yeah,
know.
well, so the mall wanted to file a lawsuit on him. They had this long list of charges like felony, breaking and entering,
What the
even
fuck?
I guess even like stealing electricity, vandalism.
Oh.
So during this
Stealing the movie theater's running water.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
breathing mall oxygen.
Yeah.
So during the trial, they really like put together a whole like dossier of shit to throw at him. And
Yeah.
Both hands.
yeah.
All of the dicks.
So no dicks were in the condo, unfortunately. But so during the trial, you know, the list went on and on and on of all the things that they wanted to get him on. While they were going on and on, they also made a list of all of the items that were inside of the apartment.
Okay.
And that was very lengthy. They were like dishes, TV, lamps, hutch, fucking couch, like clothes or whatever, okay?
China cabinet.
So that part kept going on and on. The judge ended up going from being like stern and judge-like to kind of getting a kick out of the entire situation, where he was left impressed with the amount of stuff they were able to get into this undetected apartment.
I feel like if I was a judge, I would be the same way. Like, just
Yeah,
impressed. Like, how did
Like,
you
damn,
do it?
girl, I want to know the story.
By the end of it, the judge was so impressed that he declared this to not be a criminal act, and instead of sentencing him to prison or giving him like a hefty fine, he got a little slap on the wrist
Oh, good. I'm so glad.
for trespassing, and they sent him on his way.
And I would give the Paul Blarts a slap on the wrist
Yeah.
for being little snitches.
Yeah, exactly. I would
Go back to eating your donuts.
Yeah,
and
break
not
their
giving a
fingers.
fuck.
Yeah.
So for 4 years, Michael was able to create a rent-free apartment that flew under the radar.
Yes, Michael.
It was somehow managed to be built in front of so many people without realizing
Right.
it.
Well, yeah.
And, you know, since then...
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah? Oh yeah, we'll get this. The mall ended up banning him from stepping foot on the property.
Oh, God, what a shame.
What a shame.
He got 4 years of living out
4
of it.
years of living out of
And
it.
he did fine.
That's like the biggest fuck you, I think. Is like,
Yeah.
yeah, well, I fucking lived here rent free.
Yeah.
I love how the mall was like, well, you can't come back again. Oh, wow. So,
The whole thing raises a lot of questions, like, how do you create your own livable space? I think it's very innovative.
yeah.
It is.
It's ballsy. It also makes you think, when people are making these projects or these developers, like, are they really maximizing the space
Yeah.
or not? And
Yeah.
in this case, clearly they were not.
I think it's one of those things where if there is enough funding, and doesn't matter who it's from. I mean, how many times did the American Shit Dream Mall here that Mark
Well,
and
first
Jen
it
know?
was like Xanadu, and then
Xanadu.
Xanadu.
Olivia Newton-John was going to come and,
And then-
I know, on her
rub
roller skates.
herself on roller skates in the mall.
And then the swamp started to eat them all.
Yeah, no, but my point is, I mean, how many times did that place exchange ownership and hands?
a lot.
Clearly,
And there were squatters in there too.
I'm sure there
Yeah.
were. I
They
mean,
found like human feces and shit in there.
can find some human feces in here too.
So since then, Michael has done other installations,
Okay.
kind of similar. One of the things that he did is that he made an installation. It's called Tunnel. What it is there is like a draining tunnel that looks like it goes under a railroad or something like that, or like a sewage thing. He has floating mannequins stuck in a spider web like structure. So you go into this random underground tunnel, and then you're encountering a web of floating mannequins.
Cool.
That's awesome.
I
Really
like
cool.
that.
I like that a lot.
So he does a lot of things like that. I think now he probably has a more calm life.
Yeah.
I don't know. He, kindly got back to me
Yeah.
on email, but
Well, thanks for that.
for legal reasons, he can't talk
Well,
about it.
But you know
never
what?
know.
I really admire him for being able to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
You
fucking
know?
cool.
Like, that's fucking awesome.
I know. Jen, we're all gonna go and we're gonna find some place where we can do that.
And I'm gonna wear a bucket hat
And Jen's gonna wear her goddamn motherfucking bucket hat one way or another.
with my heart-shaped sunglasses with the rhinestones.
And I'm
You're-
going to manage a Sam Goody.
You are.
Oh my god, that's so hot.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So that
was-
concludes Secret Mall
This was
Condo.
great.
Thank
I
you.
love it. I just wish they had a secret mall Santa that was in some sexy situation there.
Yeah, or
But,
like
like-
have like some weird immersive like underground Christmas experience.
Yeah. We'll make our
With
art
like
project
some like
that.
killer elves, like fucking like demon elves.
Bogies.
Oh, Chucky.
Yeah.
Oompa Loompas
Chucky.
on fucking level 20.
Yep.
thank you for this immersive
Yeah,
experience.
thank you.
Thank you.
And
My
And
pleasure.
Michael Townsend, like, you're fucking awesome.
yeah, you're really cool, dude. And whenever your cease and desist order is up, let us know. We'll talk to you.
Yeah.
We'll go shop together.
Yeah, we'll go shop. We'll go find a place. In New Jersey, I don't know where you live, but there's plenty of malls.
Yeah. We'll just have to stop at Claire's, though.
Yeah, well, and Jen, so help me God, she needs her bucket hat.
Yeah. I'm going to say that, you know, with my birthday coming up,
Oh, yes.
how can people reach out to me to give me bucket hat? You can message me on Instagram at Bazaar Buffet to get my address.
Absolutely. In care of Bucket Hat, in care of
Bucket
Jen
Hat.
Wilson.
You can also reach out to us on Facebook at Bazaar Buffet, on Twitter.
Yeah, hell yeah.
If you want to give us some money, patreon.com.
/Bazaar Buffet. It
helps a lot.
Just remember that if you can't afford to do anything monetarily, we do understand that, of course. But what you could do is go on Apple/iTunes and leave a positive.
A positive, not a
positive-
negative.
Yes, a positive
No
review.
negative.
That's right. Because the negative review of the one star, thank you to whoever left that, does not help. So
Thank you.
thank you.
We love you. We love the haters too.
We do. We love our haters. Keep it up.
yeah.
So, yeah.
Until next time.
Until next time, my name is Tangina.
And I'm a bucket hat.
Bucket Hat.
And I'm Mark Torriello, aka Claire the Boutique.
Oh, goodbye.
That's my favorite. Bye.